Hi, this is Eric Martin from Board Game Geek. I'm here with Simon and Talk from Japan Grand looking at Ars Combinatoria, which is a collection of games.
Yes, it is a collection of games, and I will actually give a rough overview of all the 5 of the games.
Okay.
Because I would say that
we have not covered enough games. So
no, it's like, because you cannot really speak of Ars Combinatoria without speaking of the idea that formed this whole weird set collection. Okay. Because it's not just any collection of games. They are actually forming a bit of a thematic little story between themselves, between them, and most of the games uses some of these cards. You see that this has a 5, this is red, this has good future, and this has and this is black, this is blue, is the 5. Some of them have black numbers, some of them have gray numbers. They don't matter for all of the games. For some of the games, you just say that you're just looking at the number, end of story.
Okay.
And what this game is that it starts out, the 5 games sort of come in a sort of a weird order. We have set this up for the most interesting 2-player game that's called Altar of Time, but this is the 4th game in the sort of succession of the games. The first game, that's called Soulmates Destiny, is that you're sitting with a hand of cards. I believe that you're only using up to number 5. And well, maybe you use both the black and the red, I don't really remember. Right. But anyway, you're sitting there and you're trying to form a straight, and they can play it for 3 to 8 players. And what you do is, like, you draw a card and you look at it and you try to exchange and to form a good hand. And once you have a good trio, you say that I would like to, does anyone have the red 2? And if any other has red 2, if I have 3, 4, and 5 and you have the red 2, then we have sort of found each other as soulmates, and we have both won the game, and the others continue to play. I believe they continue to play, or maybe that everyone loses and we just win, or maybe they go on until there's just one left. But anyway, that's sort of like the theme is you have found someone.
Find the partner.
And the next the next game is Secret Signs, which you can play on 4 or 8, because you need to play it in 2 teams of 2 persons each. Okay. And it's the kind of game that most people have heard about. You are allowed to take your teammate into a room and say that, okay, if I do this, that's a secret sign. That means that I'm lying. And if I'm doing this, that means that I'm telling the truth. Yeah. Again, you will have cards that have numbers on them. I don't remember which colors you are, but that's not important. You are trying to, together with your partner, get 30 points, exactly, as close as possible. Right. And you have a hand of cards, you draw a card, and then you send over a card and say that this is a 5, and you may lie. And your partner may take it, but before he can or she can take it, the other teams have a first say if they want it or not. Yes. So maybe I'll do like this, and I was like, this is a 5, and you know that I'm lying. You don't know what it is. I might have said that if I do this, it's actually a 3, or if I do this, that means that I have exactly 25. I mean, you can imagine whatever secret signs you have, and then you do this until the deck runs out, and you are then divulging your hand and trying to be as close as 30 as possible. Okay. And the idea with this game is that you are trying to synchronize yourself with the person that you found in the previous game. Yes. The next game is called The Time of Happiness. It's not so much a game as a conversational party game. Now you're looking at very good present, very good past, good present, good future, etc. You have one of each cards, and then I ask you, Eric, what would you, I mean, if you're looking forward to something on the next Board Game Geek card, or SPIEL, what would you like to do? And then you tell us a story, and it's obviously of the future, but it could be a thing that you think is good or very, very good. Okay. And so you put down one of these cards, either good future or very good future. And we continue to ask you about something in the present and then something in the past, and then we all get to guess, was this something you really liked, or was it just something you liked? So It's not that much a game. You gain points here and there, but the point is that you are asking the other guy or the other persons and sort of getting to know them. So first you meet someone, then you start to synchronize with them, then you get to know them, and then in the Altar of Time, which is just a 2-player game, you are trying to force your own and trying to win. Okay. What you have then is that you have 8 cards in hand. This is just sort of a schedule, and you are trying to get as a high point as possible in this. And you have 2 separate decks. They are identical to begin with. One has the blue deck and one has the red deck, and in the deck you have all of these cards. You also have the cards that these ones, which will quintuple your points in hand if you have one of them, but they will do nothing if you have both.
Okay.
what you have in your hand, you draw a card and you can exchange something here in your schedule with what you have. And then you do that first, and then you refill your card. But this has to add up to 8 exactly.
Each time you swap?
Yes, each time you swap. So maybe I could put these down and swap this up with this.
Okay.
And this one goes to the discard pile. Depending on what I have in here, it says that if I have a 3, it says draw from opponent's deck. You can actually, instead of drawing cards, now I have to refill my cards to 6 to 8 cards. I can draw from this, and I can.
Yeah.
And I can, for example, I can find your special card, and you do this, and depending on if you have a 4 in your altar, it means that you can put out cards face down into the altar of time.
Okay.
You can put them directly from your hand, so that you don't know what you are actually throwing away.
Okay.
So this is a very tactical 2-player game where you're sort of first time confronting what you're actually doing. Well, you're actually confronting the person that you met in Soulmates Destiny, that you got to know in Secret Signs and Time of Happiness. And then you have the last game. And the last game, Promise of Reunion, you use these special cards. You have some extra special cards that you had in Altar of Time, and you see that you have a time and you have a place. What you do is that you write down where you should meet and when you should meet, and the first person who shows this card when you actually meet up wins the game. And this can be any time. It can be that you promise to meet each other again after 3 years.
Okay.
And if you show this card, then you've won the game.
Okay.
So that is
stamp here.
yes, and you stamp there to sort of form. So this is everything from meeting someone, getting to know them, synchronizing with them, confronting them, and then finally saying farewell and promise to meet again.
Yes.
Which I find is a very, very beautiful way to organize a set of games.
So subtitle.
That's right. The Joy of
Yes.
Encounter,
Yep.
Alchemy.
Yes.
Where the playing time, it says, from 5 minutes to infinity.
Yeah.
5 minutes to infinity, because
right.
the Promise of Reunion can technically, the designer said, you can actually promise to meet each other in the next life.
Yes.